matter.
People's lives are being affected.
From a unique perspective.
If they don't like you, one flick of the tail and they're gone.
Inside Out, Saturdays at 1:30 on the BBC News Channel.
The Prime Minister promises Britain will have full control of its immigration policy after Brexit. She says a new system will focus on the skills that people can bring, not where they come from.
It takes back control of our borders. It ensures that free movement comes to an end once and for all, and we will be deciding who can come into this country.
We'll have the latest from the Conservative Party conference. Also this lunchtime. Civil partnerships are to be extended to heterosexual couples in England and Wales. It could benefit millions of people cohabiting who don't want to marry. Survivors of the Indonesian earthquake and tsunami are increasingly desperate for aid, including food and water. The death toll is now more than 1,300. Passengers stranded as the budget airline Primera Air collapses, only months after expanding into long-haul flights from the UK. And the funeral is held for the final victim of Grenfell Tower, a man called a hero after sheltering other residents in his top-floor flat.
And coming up on BBC News, BBC Sports Personality of the Year is set to return to Birmingham, but we'll have to wait to find out who has made the shortlist.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the BBC News at 1. The Prime Minister has promised the UK will have full control of its immigration policy for the first time in decades after Brexit. Theresa May says low-skilled immigration will fall under a new visa system, where it's workers' skills that matter, not where they come from. The plans follow a recommendation by the Migration Advisory Committee, which was also backed by Labour. The system would include criminal record checks before someone enters the country, and workers wanting to stay for longer periods would need to earn a minimum salary. Our political correspondent Ian Watson has more details from the Conservative Party conference in Birmingham. And just a reminder of our top story here this lunchtime. The Prime Minister has promised Britain will have full control of its immigration policy after Brexit. Still to come.
Okay, when you are.
Applying the latest virtual reality technology to a World War II recording, creating an extraordinary dramatic experience.
Coming up on BBC News, Manchester United are back in Champions League action as they face Valencia at Old Trafford later, but the focus remains on Jose Mourinho and his future at the club.
The final funeral for someone who died at Grenfell Tower has taken place more than a year after the fire which killed 72 people. Raymond Bernard, who was known as Moses, was called a hero by his sister Bernadette at the start of the public inquiry. He died sheltering 6 people in his top-floor flat as they tried to escape the flames. Our correspondent Sophie Long has this report.
Quiet day. Could well turn wet and windy for a time, though, on Saturday. Eventually drier by Sunday. Jane, back to you.
Thanks very much, Alina. Thank you. And just a reminder of our main story this lunchtime. The Prime Minister has promised Britain will have full control of its immigration policy after Brexit. And that is all from the news at 1 on BBC One. We'll join the BBC's news teams wherever you are. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.